Distracted by curiosity, I had not noticed the feebleness of influence within these walls, as if these stood not to shelter, but to repel the weave outside. Yet even in these light currents, I sensed something walking the hallways. A new sensation flooded my body, a question I did not wish to answer. We took to leave with haste, treading our steps through this gargantuan structure. As we neared the exit, a strange noise, repeated rattling, reverberating off the walls. The creaking pain of my body intensified, as if I were experiencing it anew. We stood there in paralysis, our bodies captive to an old sensation. Behind us, amidst the shadows, a tall figure emerged, an amalgam of flesh that confused my senses, features I had never seen before. A curvaceous body smeared with pale skin, oddly smooth, devoid of texture. A tender form slowly weaving itself into a strange husk. Atop it, suspended with unnatural grace, a big visage mired in deformed joints and flayed skin, a mockery of whatever holds it afloat. The beak rattled twice, as if waiting for a reaction, for a response. Silence followed. Confusion sets in. Hands embroidered with visages weave left and right, moving in symbols and shape, with each a sound uttered from the visages. It spoke a tongue I recognized, yet embellished with words unknown to me.
New spawn beckoned, must follow.
The weight of pain lessened as the beaked visage closed its maw. Words rattled within my shell, refusing to leave. I stuttered, expecting a wave of agony to scorch my senses anew. The figure's words, strange, fragmented, struggled against my understanding, yet I noticed they were only pointed at me, uncaring of my companion's presence. I don't understand. Were you beckoned to this place, like us? The eyes drift past me, beyond the fracture, gazing outward, yearning for an exchange that I couldn't lead. So many questions rattled within my shell, yet none found voice. The hands gesticulate, speaking in authority once more.
Follow.
We obliged the request, felt perhaps that we were in the presence of something greater than us. A hallway once sealed to our wandering now yields, as the figure presses its hand against a crumbling wall. It deforms as if it bows to unspoken words, carving a path inward toward what seems to be the head of the structure. Ahead, a room. Its door was ornate, marked with quiet authority, distinguished from all we had seen before. The figure stepped inside, and the feeling that drew us here, that pulled at our guts, grows until it deafens my senses. Whatever lies within this room holds answers. The floor, wet, threaded with sinew, a miasma suffocates the air. Stains of blood and viscera smears the wall in a dull, sickly red. One corner is lost to a dark abyss. Shadows bloom where light cannot reach. A slice of illumination bleeds through the membrane. Ornate structures and objects lie scattered in symmetrical order, now shrouded beneath a layer of fascia and flesh. At the head of the room, seats risen from the floor, intricate designs once deliberate, now twisted, bent by a fleshy growth. Their original form rendered opaque, mildly nauseating. Figures haunt the place, seated, standing, and moving, paralyzed in a silence that feels intentional. The sensation in their presence seemed uncanny, twisting my perception of what might have been a memorable moment. Ideas turned opaque, vague, slipping through the folds of my mind. I could say 6 figures, 7, 9 maybe. They lay across the open space with a present rigor. You would think they were awake, but they were not. I inspected them to the right, to the left, their companions' stretched limbs at the entrance, unmoving. Had you looked upon them, truly looked, you would have fled. At the helm of their seats, something tugs at my guts. I point to it curiously, awaiting an explanation. The figure acknowledged my request, yet what follows is an act of utmost absurdity. It reaches toward the petrified companion at the doorway, pulling at its innards with an uncaring force. The dried-out viscera emits a fleshy creaking as the figure extracts the jagged tubular proboscis. Noises reverberate down the tube to the very core of the shell. The hands speak. The shell obeys. Words uttered.
These words are for you and you alone, curious one. Many of your kin sought this pilgrimage, yet they all failed. Blissfully entrapped in their rejected forms, imperfect beings, their remains now smear the very walls of this room.
The figure steps forward, its towering form leaned over me, a slit mired with broken jaundiced teeth, opened, preparing to devour. Fascia and gums retracted, eyes, nose, lips, an alluring harmony of features shamefully hidden behind a wall of flesh. I wonder why.
Moloch is my name, and such is my visage, or what remains of it. My people, makers, dreamers, builders, we stitched meaning into the living and the dead. Remember us. We sought beauty beyond our flesh, and we draped our bodies in silk and gold. Remember us. When the feathered song flew by, we sank our bodies into motion. Remember us. When the mountains eclipsed our horizon, we built towers that pierced the sky. Remember us. Though our purpose and dreams built and healed, we also devoured and corrupted. Remember us. In communion we fostered severance. In abundance we succumbed to avarice. Remember us. Such was our way. Thus we were human. Remember us. Now all is lost, yet here I remain, patiently, awaiting for someone to remember.
Every word, every gesture, every motion entrenched morbidly in the recesses of my mind. How foolish I was to believe, even for a fleeting moment, that perhaps, just perhaps, we were the same. The way this human spoke, moved, voiced thoughts, each act a quiet transcendence of my own design. The more I contemplate, the more I am made aware of how little I understand my nature. Not a kin, not a mimic, merely a shadow cast by something I cannot become. My companion, though, lost in admiration of the speaking shell as it playfully jumps around it. What am I then? Was meaning ever stitched into me? I wish I were beautiful like you, moved like you, spoke like you. Am I something else? Something forgotten? Something failed, perhaps?
I'm afraid I hold no answer that can satisfy, yet you might find the answers that you seek within the marrow.
The human points at a viscous orb, liquid tendrils contained within an ethereal form that blurs my vision every time I look at it.
That pulsing triumph, pure marrow, gaze upon it, the bright creation of my people.
The closer I get, the more I realize it shares a familiar scent with my companions and I protruding viscera.
Fledgling since I sought to entangle this yoke, yet I, too, have failed. My time is soon to be excised from this world, giving in to a fleeting form. I pass these influence sequences to you, curious one. Read what's written in the weave of the marrow and speak to it beyond the scope of any tongue. Speak to it, learn from it, gaze into the roots of this world, and if you desire it still, take it, claim it, carry our will, and maybe cleanse our marrow of what befell us and build it in you. Beware. Beware that you succumb to its pull like those who came before you. Remember these words, curious one. Remember me.
The human sheds its visaged hand and wraps my hands with it. Its teeth sink deep into my arm. The shell falls silent. My companion's hair flails in apparent disappointment as it looks at me. I extend my hand to caress the repelling surface of the orb. The shape palpitates, blurring my vision as everything grows dark. Silence. For the first time, my body feels unshackled by the weight of its imperfection, the burden of its jarring agony. A freeing moment of ecstasy as I float amidst a deep crimson vista, woven with strings of infinitesimal symbols. A tapestry of infinite scripture. I stand here alone. No companion, no pain, no weight, just silence. A comforting feeling. Is this what eternal slumber feels like? Is this the peace we sought all along? I breathe, for the first time since my spawning, a sigh of relief. I do not know how long I remained suspended in that luring comfort, yet I wished it had never ceased. The shimmering weave moves in an ocean of abyss, a buzzing hum caressing my senses asleep. If not for a gnawing feeling that clawed at my left hand, a horrid sensation that dragged me into old memories of pain, of struggle, of pursuit. In a moment of quick realization, I came to my senses. My pursuit, my search, Moloch, the marrow. How could I be so naive? To fall to its allure, akin to those before me. I dive deep with renewed vigor as I lay my hand on the numerous strands that slither beneath me. The visaged hand acknowledges, and what is written is now spoken. Flashing images glimmer within my being, new sensations, new feelings, new description, a world unknown to me, or perhaps beyond my time. Words and voices in a cacophony emerge to paint a glistening picture of a past once hidden from me. Shame, fear, guilt, joy, pleasure, contentment. Novel sensations and feelings shred my ignorance as my mind unearths a library of verbiage. A genius Tao hovers over the citadel, emanating pride and authority. Beneath, in the twisted corners, bloodshot eyes overrun by shadows observing. Visages sunken and lean, apathy devours them as they stumble in their ragged clots. Above, figures shrouded in red, entrapped by distant whisper of conflict, cloaking the sky in a dark veil, one that only the Tao can pierce. A knotted piece of cloth holds a child. It mutters as the clock's wheel ticks and creaks. The child whispers names, names given to things, to the living, to the dead. A he, a she, an it, a smile, a lie, a wish, a book, a road, a mist, flesh, blood, an abyss, a cocoon of iron, a cage, my flesh, our flesh within. I wake up. The sudden damp smell of the room permeates my cocoon as it cracks, and whatever lies within begins to expand. What I saw inside was never meant for my kin to witness, nor for my body to bear. My husk creaks as if it hadn't moved a muscle in countless cycles. Beneath the tattered cloth, I heard a muffled cry. As I tear the fabric from the rotten bodies, I uncover a small lump of flesh, screaming, a horrid cacophony that pierced the silence, a spawn of sorts, or at least what resembles it, a child, a newborn, or many. I'm not sure. Their hands flail like a compass longing for an unseen horizon. The room is empty. No Moloch, no companion. Should I leave it behind? I wrap the cloth around the spawn and I venture, leaving the structure behind. My body glittering with pure marrow, barely keeping up its form. The visions written within the weave, images of the past, yet answers few. I could only conclude that whatever I am wasn't meant to be. My flesh was meant to terrorize, to erase the living, not to create it. Yet here I stand, in whatever hapless lump of flesh amidst my arms, and those who made me, petrified. I carry whatever is left of them within my mind and body. If so, am I a human now? Can I have a face? A name? Can I create? Can I build? That I don't know. The winds of influence wails as distance grow. The Tao vanishes amidst the storm. I push forward, yet this time alone, succumbing to new emotions. Anxious are my hands that cradle my living compass, weaving through these dunes that rumble as gliders elegantly traverse the bone sand. The friction of their scales orchestrate a symphony that breaks the captivity of the wind. Something lies ahead, a new frontier. I can only hope that wherever these crooked fingers take me, my companion follows. Hi, I hope you're doing well. If you made it to this part of the video, leave a frog in the comment so I can know that you made it thus far. Thank you so much for watching this video, the second episode or the second video in the lore of Sad Flesh. You'd be surprised how much artwork and how much lore that has been cut off this particular video. I didn't want to make it too long. Really didn't want to surpass the 20-minute mark of the video, so it's gonna be reasonable. I introduced new things like SFX, basically sound effects and dialogue, and although I really wished I've done it better, especially in the writing between Moloch and the Wanderer, a lot has been cut off for the sake of brevity, but hopefully we can expand upon it in future videos. And nothing is stable. There is a lot of opportunities for improvement and rewrites. If you have any comments, any criticism, please leave them in the comment section. I would love to read them. With that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully soon. I'm starting my PhD, so it's going to be quite the hassle to make videos, but I'm going to try my best to move on to shorter videos of lore and artworks. It's going to be much easier to consume, much easier to produce, and yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to tell you. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.